Snow.
MJ,
We are back at Pride,
we are live.
Mojave County Pride, Dragon Slay 2023.
Reality Redemption
Reality
live
Redemption. Yeah, and
Coming here,
This was-
getting you to come tell your story.
this was one of my favorite things we've done on this podcast so far, with what we did last year and all the stories we heard. And hopefully we can make it even better this year.
I know there's a lot more costumes this year.
I know,
Because of the
everybody's
Renaissance.
dressed up. And look at you.
Renaissance theme.
Look
I
at you.
know.
Can you
I'm
describe
decked
your
out
outfit?
today. Well, I have on. I didn't do the traditional Renaissance long skirt because of the weather. We're in Arizona, but I have like one of those like white peasant shirts and a corset, and I put on some cool fishnet stockings and a shorter skirt, and I'm ready to go. Oh, and
you
the
look
flower
fabulous.
thing. I know. I feel that, and my love glasses.
Yeah.
My rainbow love glasses.
And we
Gotta
have
those.
our first guest.
Oh, you
Chris
guys actually
Slay.
on the air?
We're on.
Yes.
Oh,
we did
we're
the
live.
intro for
I'm just walking around all hopped up on sugar-free Red Bull, so.
Well, have a
Nice.
seat.
Have a seat, yeah.
Oh my gosh, my knees. I'm so old.
I know it sucks getting old, right?
Yeah.
Saw you up
So-
there sound checking.
Oh yeah, trying to
And
get
you-
everything set up.
So you guys are here to perform today?
Yeah, we're playing tonight at like 6, the Ghostwood
Okay.
Murder, so
Okay.
should be fun.
Right.
Cool.
And your new album just came out, right?
Yeah, it's on Spotify and Amazon and Apple and any streaming services it's on. So,
What's the name of it?
Licking a Promise.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yep. And I don't know, I'm trying to think of any shows we have coming up. Oh yeah, I think we have the 9th, June 9th in Bullhead. I think at the Sandbar. We're playing with a big like music fest type of thing. So it's gonna be a bunch of
Cool.
punk bands. So it should be fun.
Nice. I saw you had a show up in Vegas.
Oh yeah, that was with the Coffin Cast. That was awesome. Even though the sound guy cut our set short, turned all of our mics off, total asshole move. Yeah,
What?
yeah, dick move.
Yeah,
we weren't
what a
even.
dick.
We had a 30-minute set, and like barely 20 minutes he cut us off, and we're like,
Shouldn't he get fired from his
Well,
job then?
the
I mean,
person
that's
that,
your job.
the person that put the show on, the agent and the company, she was the main person was there, and she was pissed. She's like, he didn't give you guys a warning. You should have never done that. You know, blah 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 blah. So now we're gonna get booked all over Vegas because
Nice.
she liked us, and then she was like, I liked you guys so much, and I wanted to finish listening to you guys, and then he did that shit. So
So actually, maybe send him a thank you card.
I
Thank
know,
you.
huh?
Now,
And the funny
now
thing
you've
is,
got us more work.
what's
So
cool
thank
is
you.
it's so like with our band, like we're playing with like a bunch of punk bands and then like a kind of a psychobilly band at the very end. And so we get up and like we start playing and everybody's just like doesn't know what the heck to think. And then we do the first song and everyone claps, and then we do the second song and it's like the whole crowd is like now into it. And so like we had the crowd like, oh yeah, you know, everybody was like stoked. And then the guy cut us off, and then Becca was just like, all right, well, thanks, guys. And like we started packing, and like the whole crowd gave us like this huge ovation. So we're like, that was cool, you know.
Right on.
It was like that one guy in the '80s movie just starts clapping, and then
Yeah.
everybody else claps. That was basically it. So
I went to a music festival, Sick New World up in Vegas last week, and Seven Dust came on. And into their third song, the power went out,
oh,
and they were just standing there on stage, and then they all walk off, and we're just like, what is that? Because the crowd was so into it.
oh yeah.
And they just, bam, cut off, and they waved by, and we were just like, what the hell happened here?
And they didn't get to finish their set.
They didn't get to finish yet. 3 songs. They flew out from Atlanta, did 3 songs, and left. Back on the plane, went back to Atlanta.
Yeah, but isn't it like a 2-day fest or something?
No, it was 1 day.
Just 1 day?
Yeah.
Damn. See, I think out of all the bands at
Did
Sick
they
World,
fix the power?
They fixed it before the next band came on.
And they didn't even want to wait around?
They didn't want to.
Oh, well, okay.
they're probably like, we made our money, we're good. Out.
Yeah, probably.
Peace.
They're like, we already got paid.
Hey, you saw The Cure the other night. How was that?
Incredible. It was just incredible. Like Robert Smith still sounds incredible. The whole band was just on. They played almost 3 hours. Almost 3 hours of The Cure. That's hard to deal with. I mean, it's great, but after a while, you're just like, Oh my God. Hold on. I think you're gonna.
Are you guys getting ready to
all right,
go?
all right.
Okay.
There he goes. All right, thank you, Chris. Chris from Ghostwood Murder.
Touch and go. Touch and go.
All right. All right, so there. All right, our first guest down, and we'll see who's up next. All right. Okay, we got our second guest.
The free mom hugs lady.
Free mom hugs lady.
I already got a hug, everybody. So you know.
Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Sandra McFarland.
Sandra McFarland?
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to meet you.
Thank you. I am very pleased to be back. I used to teach here in Kingman, and so I moved away last year, and to get to return to see students and friends in the community, it's very, very exciting.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And what made you come up with this idea of free mom hugs?
Actually, about 4 years ago, when my oldest decided that they were going to be honest about who they really were, I took them to their first Pride in the Pines up in Flagstaff, and I stumbled on the Free Moms booth and was so overwhelmed by people just there to give love. And having had students that struggled with their families not accepting them when they came out, and having to go that heartbreak with them, this was the way that I could become active. I don't sew, I don't sing very well, but I can certainly hug and love.
Yay! And hugs are like the best.
Absolutely. We even have no contact hugs. We've got high fives and knuckles for those of you that are not people-y enough.
What's the no contact hug?
The no contact hug, it's a gigantic fly swatter on a retractable, and you get a high five from long distance.
All right.
So even if you don't like people, you can still get your love.
For the introverts out there.
Exactly.
And we were chatting before I turned this on. You've written some poetry.
I have. In fact, my newest one, I just said out loud for the very first time last week. It's about adulting and talking a little bit about Gen X and the middle child of history, and talking about where I just refused to grow up. And so I've been doing a lot of writing. I have some children's books that'll be coming out hopefully the end of the year, and a memoir I'm working on.
So will you recite the poem to us right now?
I would absolutely love it.
Because I want to hear it. I'm a Gen Xer.
All right.
I think we all are, right? We're all Gen X.
Let me pull it up. Yep.
About the same age here.
What is audience like? Is there, if there's a one bad word in there, is it okay?
No, you're allowed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch your fucking language. I love
Please,
those rules.
with
Got
this
it.
mouth, yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. Let me pull it up here. I didn't expect to do this. My goodness.
And no FCC to worry about.
Yeah.
FCC don't give a fuck.
Oh, we do have the warning though, adult language on it. If you read our description.
Oh, you put it in there.
Would you like me to just
in
do a
case.
beep? I can do a beep if you
No,
like.
no.
Okay.
I want you to do it how it is.
Okay.
Yes.
So this was just written May 9th, so it is titled Adulting. I've tried Avon and Amway, Costco and religion, each wanting my money for something I'm convinced that I need. I've paid fines and tolls, taxes, shipping and handling, and all those fucking resort fees. Extra hands in the cookie jar of greed. But the biggest scam that I have ever been a part of, without a doubt in my heart, soul, and mind, has to be the membership into adulthood. Nothing like the brochure promised that I would do, see, or find. I've always thought it would be so different, being a grown-up, a member of majority. I still always wish that it could be different, being in charge, growing old, having seniority. It feels very much like I'm the same old kid wanting to play, wanting a friend, not much figured out. Just a chubby, insecure, little weird kid wanting to be accepted, head still full of questions and doubt. I still have 2 more payments to Columbia House for the 25 cassettes that I bought in 5th grade. I've waited for rebates and cereal box prizes, spent my life savings in a single arcade. I hoped every doorbell was Publishers Clearinghouse and a huge check held by the great Ed McMahon. I've stepped over cracks and avoided black cats, and I've rolled doobies down by the river in a van. I've tried Jesus and Mary Jane and done some shady things for a Klondike bar. I've never been light as a feather, but now feel stiff as a board. I've asked, where's the beef? I know who shot JR, and I wonder what Scooby would do, and I have more than I possibly can afford. I never drank Pepsi and Pop Rocks, my palms never grew hair, and I never went blind. I was dared to just say no to drugs and alcohol, while I watched the whole world say, never mind. The bullies are still running the playground, and the same kids still get picked last to play. It hurts just as much to be left out, and a best friend can still brighten your day. The teachers are no longer in front of the class, but the lessons are everywhere to be found. There's very little recess and free time at all, and the homework runs you into the ground. I may pay a little less for insurance and be occasionally given a seat on the bus, but adulthood is not worth the admission. Do not recommend, 0 stars, not worth the fuss. The casinos are now playing Depeche Mode. Gen X's will never be understood. A free-range generation raised by hippies, divorced yuppies, who did the best that they could. We may have had time march right over our backs and will be reduced to costumes of neon and punk. Our backs and our joints are inflamed, but the Botox works great. Latchkey kids who still don't give a funk. History's middle child is the label we were given, forgotten after being left to just figure it out. But our offspring are as powerful and a bit too entitled because of the nurturing that we went without. Our kids don't come home when the street lights come on. Their play dates are scheduled and planned. Our kids stream movies that we'd watch once a year, and Saturday mornings they will never understand. But our children see through eyes that we've never looked through. Social media, the wild, wild waste. A source of connections so polluted with hate, sending notifications of the bullying and angst. Our kids may not know how to double dutch and may have never played a game of MASH, but our kids see beyond the oppression and lies and separate their recyclables and trash. So kids, when it comes time that you are asked to grow up, I'll encourage you to politely respond, I'll pass. Because when you become an adult, there are even more rules and the paperwork's a pain in the ass. Stay young, learn the rules, and build blanket forts. Say you're sorry and try your best not to be mean. If you have more than you need, give to a friend who's without, and always keep your side of the street clean. Never keep secrets that will hurt or injure others. Always keep sacred the pinky swears that you make. Laughter and play really is the best medicine for the soul, and it's okay if you make a mistake. Pay back all of the money that you borrowed, and your words should always be gold. Don't get lost for too long in your sorrow, and don't believe everything that you're told. Say thank you and please, and always be kind, and each day strive to learn something new. Say, I'm sorry, I've messed up, and I really need help, especially when it feels impossible to do. But when it comes time to cross into the void and trade adulting for a life full of fun, you can always come back and renounce your mistake when you realize just what you've done. Come back to the playground, we've installed safety bars and the weed's way stronger than it used to be. Please just take turns, don't cut in line, and don't be a dick. Millennials, and we'll be some wild and effed up elderly. Millennials and Gen Zers and the ones yet to be born, tag, you're it. Adulting's way too much stress. We'll sit back and be quiet and let you run the world and help you clean up some of this mess. We've regressed a bit on some issues. We're still fighting for men and women to be free. Orange rage in red hats made me fear my own flag, and we've forgotten how to respectfully disagree. We've progressed just a bit with marriage and love, but many miles to go towards equality. We can live our whole lives from the palm of our hand with the power of our modern technology. We promise that we won't get too grouchy as we grow old in the mess that we've made. Turn those empty malls into retirement homes and let us roam in Sam Goodies and the arcades. Offer us Pop-Tarts and Zimas and play Breakfast Club, and let us take our mid-morning naps. Give us Prozac, Viagra, Narcan, and Rogaine, and you handle adulthood, it's a trap. Thank you. So thank you for letting me share. I wasn't intending to do that.
I love it.
Thank
It
you.
reminds me of Shel Silverstein.
Oh, that's
That
the
is
coolest
so cool.
compliment I could receive today. Thank you.
Oh, God,
The
that's
second
so
one
great.
being that one of my students said if I were ever a principal, I'd be like Dumbledore, and that is the best compliment I have ever had. So I can't go better than that.
Hey, so you also said you had a couple children's books coming out. Can you talk about the subject?
I do. I say children's books tongue-in-cheek. They are children-like characters that behave like children, and it's about a dinosaur, and he got left when he was a little toy. He was a stuffed toy. He has tiny little arms, and
now, that couldn't possibly be.
It might be metaphorical. And so he didn't get enough love, and so he was very misunderstood, and he thought in order to get love you had to be the best and the greatest, and he was completely lost and a little bit miscalculated.
Is he orange?
He might be.
Okay.
He might be.
Little tiny
He
hands.
might be. Teeny tiny hands, little brain. Yeah. So and it's about the hijinks in a preschool. And all of the crazy things that happen at the school, like not sharing and not taking turns and not letting people build in the housing area in the blocks. And yeah, so there's a lot of metaphors.
Self-published or published?
Well, it is right now. I'm brave enough to do self-publishing. However, I'm also talking all the time to people that will help me with it because I'm scared.
It's very hard to publish. I have a couple novels published by a mid-sized publishing house actually in Vegas.
Okay, we need to talk.
And, well, they don't do children's books. They don't do children's books. They are a little more expensive to do because of all the art. The pictures, they get a lot done, and they don't always use the same art and writing from the same person. And usually that's a different artist when there is a writer. And I have to see if I have any in my. I have a whole huge. I used to. I've been out for a while. I haven't done anything for like the last 4 years, but I'll have to still see if I run into anyone or find somebody. I have your card.
Yeah, like Stephanie, just take one of our cards, give her your contact info.
Yeah, because maybe those folks would know children, people who do publish the
Well, yeah,
children's books.
and I'm actually going to go be on. She wrote me in. My publisher wrote me into being on a panel up in the up the Clark County Library on Flamingo, and I'm not sure.
Oh,
I don't
cool.
remember what week it is. It's in June.
Oh, please
Yeah.
keep me in touch. So that'd be fantastic.
There is an event going on. Is your email? You gave me a card. Did it have like an email or?
Yes, if I gave you my card, it sure did.
I prefer email. I'm not a big.
I'm not
Is that a Generation X thing too?
I don't know
I
if
think
it's a
that's more
generation.
of a millennial thing.
I don't know if it's a generation.
I'm the
X.
same way. I'm
It's
like,
an
don't call me.
introvert thing. It's an introvert thing.
Yeah, there you go.
That poem made me proud to be Gen X.
Yeah.
I liked all the nostalgia stuff that we had with our
We're all on old
generation.
hands, so you Gen X too?
I am Gen X. No, it's 1974, man, right in the middle of it.
75!
He and I are 75.
So,
70.
December 75.
I think I'm the old
being
grand
the same
dame
age
here.
as like
No,
older
I'm
people. I'm not
older.
getting.
Are you?
I'm always
Yeah, and
My
he's
mother-
still
my mother
Gen
went
X
to go.
though.
Yeah.
Like Gen X was
Like
like
65,
65,
yeah.
I think
Yes.
like
She's
80.
73 years old. She went. I went
Yeah.
there.
I thought I was older than
Full of
you.
old people.
Oh, okay.
Guess what,
Grandpa.
Mom?
I say that every time I go to
Nope,
a concert. Man, why did they get so old?
Who are all these old people?
Hey, we should also say we have Stephanie to my
Stephanie.
left.
Are we live?
We have,
We've been
we
recording
have
this whole
Aaron,
time. We have Bridget, we have
and we
Aaron,
have Bridget.
and
Hey.
Aaron. What was
I was across the street for a second. I went and talked to them.
Dealing
I
Okay.
did not
okay,
engage,
wait,
but
wait. We have to address the audience on this.
I
So-
gave him your card.
You gave my card. That's
Did you
awesome.
really?
You're on the hook now, buddy.
Cool.
Oh my god.
No, okay, but we should say we're at the Pride 2023, the Dragon Sleigh, and across the street there's some counter protesters. Well, protesters.
Right?
We've hit the big time! Yay! We have
Yes.
protesters!
Now, although we do have to address that they are like a
We're on
quarter
that.
mile
Yeah.
down the
Yeah,
street.
they're kind of fun.
Yeah. They're
So
not
get outta here,
directly
you
across
people.
the street where one would normally protest. They're a little ways down.
They
So
had some
they're-
interesting literature over there.
Oh,
if
boy.
you're
I'm
Did
sure
curious.
you
they-
grab it?
I am not
I should have.
About like
I might go
saving
back.
yourself and whatnot, and
about praying
yeah,
for
like,
their
okay.
souls.
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
I will pray for the end to their ignorance because it never makes us great.
Yeah.
And if their babies are ever struggling when they come out, we will love and hug them too.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll
So,
help them instead.
I wish them the best. I wish them knowledge. I wish them peace. And there's just no need to hate. That's not what this is about. No. I picked up yesterday, as I was setting up, I had my first customer. She must have been about 10 years old and told me her story. She's pansexual and her friends wouldn't play with her when she came out. And I was crying in the morning because when my oldest came out at 19, they knew at 13. And the first thing as a mom hurt me was you had to wait 6 years to be yourself. And I didn't want that to happen. You'll make me cry.
I have tissues because I always cry when I come here.
I don't want that to happen. As a teacher in this town, there were rainbows in every classroom I taught in, and I wanted everyone to know that they were welcome and they were loved. I'm in Flagstaff now, but I taught it, I've taught for both the district and the charter schools here. Let me say that so
Right.
that I don't involve
Yeah,
anybody.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Yes. So, in fact, I had a TikTok that I'd already gotten myself into trouble with when I was still working there, so I have to be careful.
Do you still teach in Flagstaff?
No, actually, I retired last
Okay.
year to write full time, and so I've been working on the memoirs and the kids' books
Oh,
and
cool.
poems. And,
My mom's a retired teacher. I love
So's mine. Teacher, library. She was a librarian. She was a teacher first, and then she got her master's degree in that
Library science.
library science
Yeah.
thing, and then she was a high school librarian.
I'd never be able to do that. I couldn't shut up.
She can't either.
Stephanie, shuffle it a little bit closer.
She's where I get it from. So. Yeah, I rolled up my pants too, so I got my rainbow unicorn.
Oh,
socks.
Those are great socks.
They're knee socks.
Those
They're
are
actually
cool.
go all the way up to here. So. Wore them on purpose. I'm like, I should show them off.
Well, let me plug Free Moms if you wouldn't mind very quickly.
Yes,
definitely.
please.
FreeMomHugs.org is a national organization that is an advocacy group. We show up at Pride events and we just give away hugs. The secret is we don't let go until they do. And sometimes those can last minutes. And it is just full of love and tears and lots of tissues. And this year, our moms and dads and our volunteers have made small little pocket hugs. They're little crocheted hearts, and so we're giving those away. We've got candies, and of course I have my family here, so there's little sister hugs and dad hugs at the booth,
And bubbles.
and bubbles, absolutely. I'm really just a giant 10-year-old is what it is.
I like this. I like this.
So
I'm a big believer in using my right as a straight white woman
absolutely.
to help people who are not as privileged as I am.
And I agree with you completely, because it is only within the people who have the power that change can really come.
Yeah.
And so it really needs to start everybody and everywhere. And so, yes. And so my parents actually had, the reason this is a meaning, it says, why be racist, sexist, homophobic, or transphobic when you could be quiet? That was the bumper sticker that my parents had on their car. However, the new version is crossed out, be quiet, and it says, use your privilege to fight for the rights of others.
Yay,
And so
yes.
that is
That's what I try and
the new advocacy 2.0 in my life. It's what I will do when I grow up, I guess, whenever that happens.
our straight white males. Right? Our straight white males.
Oh, pretty sure I'm straight, but
$20 is $20.
I'm straight. The $20 is $20. Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming
You
on.
are so welcome. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you
getting
for
the
doing
message
all
out.
that you do.
Oh, awesome.
And thank you so much for your poem.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
you
I
are
love it.
welcome. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Happy Pride, and
And before you go, can we all get a hug?
oh my gosh,
I know, yeah,
absolutely.
I want another
Do you want individual or you want a group hug?
Oh, group hug.
Both. Can we do both?
All of the
Absolutely.
above.
All right,
All
I'll
of the
make
above.
the round.
Come here, guys.
Oh, come on over. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Come on over.
Aaron, get a mom hug, damn it.
Now we get to do our group
Even though
hug.
even though she's
Group
our age.
hug.
Okay.
Group hug.
Even though you're our age.
Gotta get a
Metaphorical mom. There we go. I love you guys. You're
I love you,
amazing.
too.
So,
Yes,
thank
we
you.
love
So anytime you need a top off hug, come on over.
Top off. Yes.
Oh, let
thank
me,
you.
You're welcome. Let me grab my card. Thank you guys.
What is your name, by the way?
Sandra.
Sandra.
McFarland.
You know, I never asked.
That's all right.
I'm Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. I won't remember that, so about
Is
3
this
more
your
times I may have to ask.
Karen, Laura? Is this you? Is this yours? Did that fall out of your
Thank
pocket?
you. I wouldn't have gotten into the hotel with that.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Sandra.
McFarland, MC.
All right.
You're on the Book of Face.
I am
Here,
on the Book of
Here's a,
Faces.
here's a Sharpie.
Friend me.
Oh yes, Andrew
MC,
McFarland. Yes.
capital FAR.
And free
LA.
mom hugs. Gotta pay.
I gotta do
Scott
it now
McFarlane.
because I won't remember.
Like
I know,
Scott
I won't
McFarland
either.
Yes.
or Seth McFarland.
Yeah.
Cindy McFarland, depending on how old you go. Although Seth, I think that one is a different spelling though. I think it's
I
A-N-E.
think he's an E at the end,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
on the land.
Seth
Free mom hug.
Freemomhug.org.
Found you. Okay.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, yep, that is me.
MC Farland. There you go.
Thank you
Have a
so
wonderful
much.
day. You
Thank
guys
you
are
so
awesome.
Who's
much.
in
Awesome.
Flagstaff? I got you.
Yes,
All right.
I'm in Flagstaff. Thank you.
Yes. Perfect.
Love
Got her,
her.
got her.
Love, love,
That's
love.
awesome.
We already got
This is
so
a
many hugs today.
yeah. We've got hugs. Great start to the podcast.
I should have warned her she might be a little bit too much for some of the more introverted people. But
No, okay, so she was talking to us
Oh,
like
sorry.
they have this thing where they do a wasn't it like a high five or whatever, like on a
Like a
stick if you don't
distance
want
hug.
no
oh,
contact.
distance hug. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
they have covered all bases.
Okay. Good.
So, Bridget, I wanted to talk to you
Uh-oh.
because you have to tell Snow what happened when you were up in Chloride last week.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. What?
So
what? I heard.
I
this.
have a new friend who's a business owner here. She probably doesn't want me to mention her or her business. But,
Don't do that.
So she wanted to go check out Chloride. So we went up there and we decided to watch the little shoot 'em up show they have, their little reenactment.
Oh, okay.
So
like the
they're
gunfighter?
yeah, the gunfire
Okay.
thing. So they're setting up their thing and they're showing, these are like black powder guns, but they're still dangerous. Anyway, they had an empty beer can that they shot at. And it was a Bud Light can.
I was like, it's got to be a Bud Light can.
And one of the
Where we are.
reenactors said, it's no longer Bud Light, it's tranny fluid. And when he said that, I
wow.
put away the tip I was going to give him back in my wallet and we left.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you to do that.
And I reached out to Supervisor Bishop, Jean Bishop, and
Yeah.
I got her assistant wrote back and I told her what happened and they're gonna quote address the problem. We'll see, but I was shocked they got back to me and
I'm shocked she responded.
yeah, and in the way they responded, they were actually very supportive of this community. So I want to give them a shout out for that. I'm just hoping that something actually gets done.
You know what? And I hope that they mention to this guy that you lost tips. So who knows how many other people
Yeah.
also were offended.
Chloride needs
And-
help. Chloride's in there.
Chloride
It's falling
used to be
apart.
so cool too.
Yeah.
It used to be so fun to go to.
Their historic jail is literally being held together by a cable. It's getting ready to
And
collapse in on
they-
itself.
Like they had one bar and restaurant that was really cool that had like the inside was rocks.
Yeah.
But then I don't know if that one's even still open because the person who had owned
don't
it
think so.
quit doing it,
Yeah, I think there's
and they
just
only
the
had
one.
the one.
Mhm.
Like yesterday.
Yep, that's still
Maybe I
open.
shouldn't even say it. But,
So we'll see.
Yeah, Oatman used to be fun too.
Yeah, I won't go to.
Oh
Opening.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oatman.
I won't go to
Oatman has
I won't
some
either.
very.
Oatman has turned into the Confederacy.
Yes.
For some reason. For some reason.
And-
It's like.
store we went into and they had all the.
Oh my God, they have those horrible signs.
Yeah.
And if anyone in Oatman is listening, I've been to Tennessee. I've been to
Yep.
a few places in Tennessee. Let me tell you,
You don't
y'all
see that
are
anywhere.
selling way more
Yep.
Confederate flags than you can find even
Yep.
in Tennessee.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know why you're doing this because
Well, in every gift shop is it like the
every single one of them has
yeah,
it. in there.
they have the number 45 Chinese gifts
Yeah.
just filled.
And when this guy told that horrible joke, the representative from the chloride chamber was standing right next to him. So apparently they're okay with that. But yeah,
guess
I was
so.
just like, I wasn't surprised, of course, you know where we
Well,
live,
but that's
still,
kind of
that was really
I
bad.
think Aaron posted an article on Facebook the other day about how it's not really Trump that caused all this. Trump just allowed
gave
it.
them permission.
Gave
Right,
permission.
He gave them the
to come, like,
microphone and the podium to
Right,
be like,
he
we
gave-
can be assholes again.
And he gave them comfortability
Yeah.
to say it out loud.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, because you know, these folks were talking like this all along in their homes. And now they're like, great.
Yeah,
now
and
we
there
can do
were
it in
kids
public.
present. There were
Yay!
all sorts of people present when he said this. There's no need to punch down. And
I know.
and it wasn't
Right.
an original joke. He got it from somewhere else.
Of course.
But
Right,
he was very proud of it.
Yeah, because he probably couldn't have been smart enough to even come up with that, right?
Yeah. And what was
Write
it
your own shit, goddammit.
what was it the Dodgers
Stolen- a
did?
stolen
What was
joke.
one of
Oh, the Dodgers. The Dodgers
Yeah. the
until
Dodgers.
recently have been wonderful about having Pride Night and supporting the community. And every Pride they've had the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence who've been here. They came to our first Pride.
Oh, cool.
And they were really
I love
great.
That.
Yeah.
Why am I
miss
not?
them.
Why am I not a part of that?
Well, they were going to honor the sisters with a special award, and they rescinded it and uninvited them from the Dodgers Pride Night.
Right? Yeah, I heard
Because
about this. I'm like,
which senator? I can't remember which one was it. Rubio? One of those. Somebody not even from California. It's either Rubio or Cruz.
why can't they stick with their own state?
Well,
no,
pressured
it's.
them.
I think it was Cruz, right?
And it was
Well,
somebody.
Cruz was Bud Light. Like
Oh,
he,
yeah,
he,
he's
wants to
attacking them.
investigate Bud Light for advertising to minors.
It might have been Rubio.
And now the point about
we could make a trivia game out of this. Which bigot did what?
Right.
but the
Yeah.
whole thing about Ted Cruz,
Or a scratch-off ticket.
couldn't you like go after investigate the NFL for advertising to minors if Bud Light has an ad during a football game? Because that's what he's saying. Even though Dylan's
Well, don't they hate both? They hate the NFL anyways, and they hate.
they don't really hate the NFL though. They still watch.
They
I don't
right,
know.
but well, just bring up.
No,
Colin
my
Kaepernick
point
and
my
they'll-
point being
they'll
that
go back
these
to hating.
politicians were about to hit the debt ceiling on it.
Right.
You know,
There's more important things for them to focus
we
on.
have problems at the border. There's no doubt there's problems at the border. But nobody will work on immigration reform. A Republican can come up with a bill on immigration reform and present it to Congress, right? But no, they choose not to do that. Let's investigate Bud Light instead.
Because that's more important. Like,
No.
Well, if they solve the problem of immigration, they don't have that boogeyman anymore to fall back on and to raise money off of. So they can't solve the problem because that's their moneymaker. They get people all riled up and angry about immigration, and that's where their donations come in.
Or just about pride. Who was the congressman who he wants to defund the military because they sent out a memo saying June would be Pride Month?
I don't know which one it was. You
But
showed
yeah,
me.
yeah, the article.
You sent me the clip, and I was about to actually text you back and said this has to be one of the dumber ones. Like, was it maybe like Ron Johnson? He's
No.
a dumb one.
There's so
The other one that used to be the Tommy Tuberville, isn't he a dumb one?
Well,
I'm
yeah,
like-
I mean,
I'm like, let's pick the dumbest of the dumb.
well, that would be FKJ.
No, but she's not.
We can find the dumber of the dumb.
You know,
Is it a contest?
and you know, we're gonna end this shortly.
But I
because-
thought it was a senator. Was it a senator or a
I think it
Congress?
was.
Yeah, she's a Congress. She's not Senate. That's the only problem.
Anyways, the point.
But
being,
yeah, she's the dumbest. In
the point being is what's going on here today is not hurting anybody. It's not affecting anybody's life. If you don't want to come here, don't come. Fine.
Thank
you. You don't have to.
I've got into it with
Yeah.
some
It-
family members about this. Like, it's one weekend out of the year. Like, well, we don't want to bring our kids to this park.
Then don't.
Then
What,
don't.
14 other parks
Go to
in
the
this
drag
town?
races.
if there's so
Wait,
much,
I'm surprised they didn't try to cancel that. The drag races.
I know, right? I know. If there's so much about state rights, how are they not about like personal rights too? I just don't understand that. It's like there's so many questions I have.
Angel.
I wish we could get one to come on here so we could ask them.
You know, but we'll pivot this conversation because we want to keep it more on the positive about what's going on here, you know, and just get that part out of the way.
Don't be a weirdo.
We're here to have a good day.
You're telling Aaron, don't be a weirdo.
That's one of his mom's Girl Scouts.
All right, so why don't we just take a little bit break here and just wait for our next guest?
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Okay, we're back again.
Back on.
Hey, Snow.
Hey, MJ.
We got our friend Chris here with us again.
Hi, Chris.
How you been, Chris?
Doing good.
Doing good?
The last 6 months have been kind of difficult. I went to rehab and all that, and that was amazing. And it's taught me a lot of tools, and using those to my advantage. You know,
Congratulations on that.
boundaries and stuff like that. Thank you.
About
5 months and 25 days clean.
Good job.
So thank you. Appreciate it. Means a lot.
We're proud of you. We're proud of what you do.
Yeah.
You know, hey, we missed you. You know, it's been a while.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we missed you.
You miss him also.
Yeah.
Well, a new friend.
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, my name's Naphtali.
What? How do you say that?
Naphtali.
Naphtali?
Naphtali.
Okay, Naphtali.
Naphtali.
No. Tis I.
His eye, Naphtali.
What brings you out here today?
To sing and dance like a fool.
Yes, you were really entertaining last
To
year.
network.
We
We saw
just
you
sat
last
back
year.
and just
We loved
watched
watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you were having such a good time that we ran out of time to talk to you. So we're glad that you came on now, before you get ready to have a good time, and then we don't get to see you the rest of the
Oh,
night.
yeah, well, you
Or
know,
have you on.
life was pretty rough last Pride. But I found Pride, and so it was kind of a night and day type situation.
Yeah, so you were telling us before, as we were setting up, about last year. Want to talk about that at all?
Oh, yeah. See, so I used to be a huge meth addict.
Okay.
And I picked that up as a substitute for stopping alcohol 5 years ago. And I've been transgender and non-binary for 3.5 years. So out here in the Wild West, it's a little rough getting the basic needs met, not getting messed with. But you know, I got a year clean on the 26th. Coming out. And I got 5 years no drink, and you know, I'm able to handle situations without melting down. You know, and
Can you teach me how to do that?
my pride,
I know.
my pride community is a large part of that.
Do you have any advice for that?
Advice for what?
Not how to not melt down.
Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a skill, and you practice it like any other skill.
Fair enough.
Hey,
You know,
gratitude.
gratitude.
So you were last year, so you were just getting sober as Pride was happening last year.
Yeah, I was a month off of hard drugs. Yeah,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
yeah, and it was also a month after I tried to end my life by exposure out in the desert. And so, I was just really kind of like in a whirlwind, kind of like trying to find my place. But you know, I'm settled in now. I've been doing a lot of group therapy, a lot of recovery stuff, a lot of karaoke. I ride the karaoke circuit super hard here in town.
What'd you go to on
Just
karaoke?
recently, I did like 7 nights straight. It was It's nuts.
What's your go-to karaoke?
Oh, the song.
Your go-to
Your song.
song?
Oh man,
Or a group of your favorites that you do.
probably Wolf Like Me by TV on the Radio. Helen You by Amigo the Devil. Walking in Memphis always brings the house down.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
For a cowboy crowd.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of Prince, Metallica. Funky
Cool.
stuff.
Very cool. Very cool.
How do you find Kingman, you know, as you're going through all this? Are you getting a lot of support here?
There is definitely a lot of support here in Kingman. It took me a while to find it. I'd say it's a little more difficult to initially get plugged in and sustain, compared to other areas of the country. Because this is the literal Wild West we're talking about. You know, and I always like to tell people about the information age and about how, people around here did whatever they wanted for like 250 years with no consequences. And now we're like 25 years deep in the information age, people being held accountable. So, people are snapping to for the most part, but then, you got the hardcore, obnoxious, ignorant people that are like kind of sticking to their guns and starting to buck back a little bit. So, I think the visibility here is really, really, really critical. I used to hate living here, but then I realized that my purpose is to be seen here and just kind of really accelerate that visibility.
I moved here I moved here from New England, and it took me a long time to find my group of people here, and it does. But once you do find your group of people, that north of 50 now, but to find the group of friends, and these are the biggest friends I've ever had in my life, the best people, best friends, even though we're a very small minority in this company.
Not as much a minority as you think, I guess.
I mean, but it's just really cool,
It's hard to find each other.
Yeah, I was packing my bag. I was getting ready to get the fuck out of here when they had the first Pride. I was like, oh shit, okay, maybe I'll check this out,
Yeah.
I was out of here.
That first year of Pride, was a turning point for me.
Yep.
What year was that?
19.
In 2019.
I was here.
Nope. Technically 18 because they were planning it.
What happened to the Pride? What happened?
Oh.
Was it something bad happened?
No.
The first one was a great success. We had like 3,000 people here.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fucked it all up.
Wasn't it even more than that?
Well, I don't know the whole story. This is just off my memory, but there was some issues. They tried to get the park for the second year, and someone had already reserved it before they had it.
Uh-huh.
And read into that what you will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Willa
They did it
knows
on
more
purpose
about that. But
Well, the second year they were going to do it down at that new
Bullhead.
facility down in Bullhead.
And Bullhead bent over backward. Everybody was just donating time and money and like giant facility, and then the pandemic. That would have been a massive event. So, yeah. But they're catching us.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
I see you're getting all ready to get up there and start dancing again.
I got 2 whole days. I'm just lounging, baby.
Yeah. Just conserving the energy for now.
I still gotta drink my coffee.
This guy, he's great, man. I'm glad you had him on here. He's got some really good stories in life.
Yes.
Situations.
And we're here. Well, we're not here.
By the way,
We're not here all weekend, but we're gonna be in and out all weekend. And anytime you want to come over, sit down and chat with us, or just sit down and listen to whatever we got going on, feel free.
yeah.
And we definitely wanted you last year. Just that we didn't make that
I
happen.
get that a lot.
Now that I it's like when you present yourself so well, and you talk so well, and you read so well. I'm not just like saying this, it's just very admirable because I lack some of those traits. So
That's so awesome.
yeah.
We've done some healing together, Chris and I.
Yeah, 'cause I'm working at Southwest Behavioral now, and so
Okay.
I'm seeing him and all these people, the groups we have, and then it's just like part-time work, but it's like kind of making sure the place is decent and respectable, like cleaning and wiping down fingerprints and a big thing,
Right.
So it's fun. I'm around like-minded people, and then I'm around all these caring people, the therapists and things like that, who really,
Right.
they do get to be.
Yeah, it probably helps you too.
Oh, it
like
does.
with what you're going through.
Because they originally had a position for me, but they eliminated it like 3 weeks after I got there. They said, "Well, here's the deal. If you want to try and get hired on full time, then complete this. It's like a training, vocational training for 12 weeks, and they pay you. And so it's just good to get my feet in there because I can't do the things I used to be able to do anymore. I lost so much muscle in my legs. It's like hard for me to my balance is off. So, but everything is so far so good. I mean, I have all these referrals that I gotta go to, but nothing major.
Right on.
Yeah, nice to be here. Nice to see you guys again.
Good to see you too.
And
Oh no, sorry.
and I've been friends with Chris for a couple years now. At least 2 years, probably. We don't hang out a whole lot, but
Most of that time, you probably saw me belligerently drunk.
there was once.
I think I started going off on when I was on here last. You had to remove something I said or something.
That was it wasn't.
Oh no, that
Pride,
was
was it?
one of the places
Yeah.
we worked for. We just cut the name of the company.
Oh,
out.
whoops, like I just did right now again.
Well, yeah,
'Cause I've
we
never-
did say.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you didn't say the name this time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
Yeah.
you did.
No, you're good.
No, you're good. But hey,
That's cheap.
I just wanted to say, as a friend, that I'm proud of everything that you've done
Yeah.
the last few months.
Now you got me thinking. I think I did say the name.
Oh.
I don't.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but
But I don't think that you weren't saying anything where.
No.
it was a legal
It was
a
like
legal
there
matter
was a legal
before.
issue.
That's
Yeah.
why we cut it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is okay. It's fine to mention. We got Black Bridge Brewery right over here.
Right.
So some fine beers. It's fine to say that. It's fine. Southeast Behavioral or Southwest Behavioral.
Southwest. Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with saying that.
Okay. All right, cool. Because I know they have.
They deserve a shout
I never
out.
went through
Yeah, they
orientation.
help people.
Yeah, I never went through orientation. It's where you sign all your waving things. I never went through that. They wanted to start me as soon as possible.
But you're talking about them in a positive light. Anyways.
Oh, heck
I mean,
yeah.
you're talking about how they help people, how they have helped you,
Yeah.
how you've connected with other people who
And I
are all
like-
like-minded.
Yeah.
So that's not
And I like.
anything bad.
It's like I'm a little, minion down here at the place because I do, they appreciate me, the stuff I do, and it's just really nice. Yeah, it's really nice to be around people, and it's nice to be able to talk freely about the place that I believe in. Although, it could be a conflict, but.
Yeah.
I'm getting too analytical right now. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that is nothing.
Yeah.
That's why we don't use our real names.
Yeah.
We have our stage names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think we said anybody's last name.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think so either.
It's okay. It's okay.
So what did you have to fix to get be able to say things like that compared to before you couldn't?
No, well, okay. What you had said, and I'm gonna talk loosely about it.
Loosely, yeah.
Is you were working for a company, and I think it was wrongful termination.
Yeah, and they were not a very nice place.
Yeah,
to
they
wait for.
cut me off in 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just leave it at that. But
Yeah, don't say their name.
yeah. So just,
But they're known
just-
for
just-
doing that to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but hey, you know,
but
one door closes, another one opens.
yeah, I mean you're in a much better place now, right?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there.
Minus my physical, but yeah, I'm in a definite better headspace.
That's all that matters.
I mean, some days are, I live literally this far from the Quickie Mart from my house. Like, that meaning, like, you gotta walk just across this little street. So the first time I went in there, when after I got out of rehab, I was like, I'm gonna go in here and just look. And I did. I had no idea, desire to. This is my health issues. Drinking could end up in a hospital again. But, I sure like to talk negatively about myself, don't I? Sorry about that.
Oh man, yeah. But you're amongst
Just
friends.
talking good. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah,
just
it is.
getting it out and talking about
Yeah,
it.
you know. Get
Yeah,
that
but
off the
you're,
chest.
you're learning from it anyways, so it's all part of the healing process.
Right. And it's, there's
Because
people
we all do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Believe me, Snow and I have conversations when we're not doing this, where we are feeling bad, down.
Aren't we all our own worst critics? You know?
yeah, of course. You're overly too critical of yourself.
That's why we shouldn't care about the other shit that people say, because it's like, you could do better than that. I do.
Yeah, really.
You're really gonna try to talk crap about me.
Really. And you know what? It's almost kind of cool. Like we're in the minds of these people down the street.
Right? Yeah.
You know.
I kind of feel bad for them that
Yeah.
they're wasting their time. I mean, there's a part of
They could
me
be out
that
helping the
feels bad.
community, feeding
Right.
people.
Or
Right over
they
here,
could
so-
be doing that, or they could simply be at the drag races that's going on this way. They could be doing something
That's
other
why.
than
That's why it's
trying to teach. What is it? Conform people.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And who in here, within these gates, are they going to really convert? No one.
convert.
No one.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
one.
convert. Yeah. Who
I
in
think
here
they
hasn't
don't
been
protest
exposed
too
to-
loudly, if you catch my drift.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can go on and on and on about.
And who
religion
in
my
here hasn't
childhood.
been exposed already to what they're talking about? What they're preaching? Hasn't that been everyone's
not
been
like-
exposed to it already?
You know what though?
We're like,
Rhetoric, yeah.
yeah.
It was really sad. Like, I
If we
saw-
felt the way you did, we'd be over there with you, but we don't.
Yeah, blah, blah,
We're
blah,
more-
sitting, going to
We're
go,
more
blah,
about
blah,
Yeah.
individual freedom and
Yeah.
whatnot.
And when have you ever seen a group of rainbow flags out protesting in front of their church on Sunday morning?
I have literally never witnessed that.
I wonder if that
They've
has
got
ever
better-
Although I'd
happened
love to
in the
slap some
history.
bumper stickers on some cars in the parking lot.
Right?
Or just put them on the telephone poles, you know?
I've been telling people all year, I just want to sing and dance and be left alone.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Staying in your own lane.
Yeah. This is
It's like,
your
don't
life.
bother me, I
It's
won't
not
bother
hurting
you.
anybody.
Yeah.
Simple.
Why do you fucking care if it's not hurting anybody?
Yeah.
Why do you
Oh, yeah.
care what other people do?
Yeah.
They need an enemy to get money.
They do.
Because they can't stand that we finally broke away from that negative self-talk.
Right?
They got to bring us down to their own level, man. Because like, no one can hate me like I can hate me. Like, we all got that healthy sense of shame and regret. Like, none of us deserves to have that added on.
You know, or
by other
maybe
people.
I think it's like, are you all interviewing for a higher spot in heaven? I mean, I don't know what's it. Is that why you're doing all the
I know
bull
what
crap
you're
you're
talking
doing?
They're doing it to recruit the other haters. I don't know.
It's like, you're like, oh, God's watching.
Yeah,
So I
hate's very
gotta.
lucrative.
He'll love what I'm doing right now. No, he won't.
No. Yeah, I know your religion you're talking about. It's like, yeah, how good you do on earth is where you're gonna sit in heaven. Where
I think
I
that's
don't
what. Because they've been brainwashed.
Yeah.
That's why I feel sad for them. They can't just have fun and live their life and not worry about other people.
Jesus never said a fucking thing about being gay.
Right.
Or
Jesus
hating anybody.
did, but he did say love thy neighbor, so there is that.
People, they
There's many ways you can do that. Hey.
It's getting hot in here.
Diggity.
Our family friendly where we gotta be.
But yeah, like you're, where's your name?
I'm Stephanie. Sorry.
Christopher.
Christopher. Stephanie.
Naphthalite.
Naphthalite. Naphthalite. Okay. Gotcha.
You could pay me $10 and I wouldn't be able to
I will
spell
not
that.
remember that.
I know, I'm bad with the names.
Yeah.
It's like, where you going?
This is why I have to write everything down here.
Note taker.
How you doing? Hey, Ben.
Someone's got the girls out today.
Where I'm supposed to go work next, but I wanted to say
Okay, come by and talk to us later.
absolutely.
Okay? All right.
I love your dress.
Thank you.
We're just dropping in left and right here. All right, so what do you say? Taking a little break here and
Yeah.
continue
Maybe
on.
take a little break,
All
yeah.
right. All right.
Also awesome. You want to sit? It could,
All right,
I need to get up
all
and
right,
move
we got
around. So
quite the crowd building up here. Sure.
I know.
All
All of
are all
our
tangled
friends.
up here.
I want to roam around a bit.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
All right, introduce yourselves. I'm horrible at introductions. Snow knows better at it than I am.
What?
Are you better at introductions than I am? Just introduce yourselves again.
Yeah.
To our audience.
Go ahead, Terrence.
All right, I'm Terrence.
Sid. Hey, I'm Dion.
How y'all doing?
Doing good. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Beautiful day out here.
Yeah. It's good. Hey, so let's talk about this while we got you all together.
Okay.
Juneteenth. Let's
Yes, it's coming up. I'm excited. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a little excited.
Yeah.
I might be a little biased.
What's going on for that?
Huh?
What's going on with that?
We are actually going to we normally do a fundraiser. We did one last year. Last year was my first year participating. I think we're going to do the same thing again this year. Probably just do kind of a cookout, an educational moment to talk a little bit about Juneteenth and its importance in American history.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it at the same
Exactly.
location as last year?
I don't know. Providing weather, probably.
Yeah, we'll probably have to do it because we tried to get it indoors, but they charge a little much. And then the 18th, which is the day we wanted to do it on, it was booked anyways. So
What about here at this park?
Well, it's really hot, so like the last couple of times we did it at the splash pad.
You have to have
so
the
that
water.
there's water, yeah, because
Okay.
it gets too hot.
and then like the
Okay.
kids have somewhere to
Yeah.
play at.
Yeah, splash pad's legit.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
kids have someplace to go and good parking and all that good stuff. But shade. Shade. This would be better for shade. This would be
Right?
better for shade. Shade is really, it's hot. It was hot last year. Last year we got blown out,
Blown out,
basically.
yeah.
The wind
Yeah,
kicked
it
up
was
and it
windy.
was just way more than any of us, we were like, okay, we can't do this. And then we couldn't light a barbecue grill.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't let us light a fire in the park. So even on a grill. So yeah.
Even though they have the grills
Yeah.
in the...
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that are like in the ground, right?
Yes.
That are, and they wouldn't let you do that.
No fire.
Really? Wow.
So we had to go back to my house and just hang out, celebrate it.
It's pretty cool though. Like met some
Yeah,
new
fun.
people.
Yeah.
Like
I had a good time.
it was pretty cool.
I don't know about anybody else. I had a good time. Met a bunch of great people.
Yeah.
The idea was to bring the black community together, which is very separated out here because of the way it is out here. But we were able to bring more.
And so we'll
Making
keep doing
friends,
that.
phone numbers, just keep doing it.
Especially as the community is growing out here. I would say that the community of African Americans out here is growing. So
And I always like it when
Yes.
and I always like it when stuff grows kind of like organically. Like
yes.
just kind of like run into people like last year. Like I didn't even know half of those people. Like,
Yeah, we
I met
came
him
in the
yesterday.
morning, and I got to see my friend Bob and his wife Connie.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were going to do music.
yeah. Yeah, Bob's a musician. Yeah.
We do have a GoFundMe up. I'll send you guys the link.
Well, but you know what? Don't say it. Just say it so it's all on this.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can try and look it up. I'm not sure where it is.
It's in our chat.
Okay. Lots of
It's in our
messages
group
with.
chat.
They're prepared like we are.
Okay, it is
Like
a lot.
everyone,
You
though,
can look it up
really,
though.
you
It is
know?
the 4th annual Mohave County Juneteenth celebration. So it's on GoFundMe. Go find us. Donate some cash. There'll be lots of food. The idea is for people not to have to pay to eat, additional money, no entrance fees or anything. Just come, eat, community, have a good time, and maybe learn a little history if that's something you're interested in.
Do you have a Facebook page?
We should start a Facebook page.
Good idea.
We should do that. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Good idea.
Look for that.
I like that.
Look for that. Sydney's fingers are moving faster than mine right now.
That's good. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
social media is the way to go.
Yeah, definitely nowadays. Yeah.
We had the whole downtown infrastructure plan that got passed this week.
Yeah, I saw that.
By
That's
some
cool.
miracle, it passed.
I know, that was amazing. You
What was
did,
it,
I
like
was like,
5-3?
It was
5-3
a
vote?
shock.
it was a shock. I did not expect.
Wow,
I mean,
yay,
I was
something
excited
good.
and obviously want to see it happen, but I was like,
I can't believe it.
I was literally like,
Well,
It happened.
A lot of
Like,
that
can
happened.
somebody pinch me?
Right.
I need to
Happened.
make sure I'm not dreaming.
A lot of that was because of social media and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
hammering, hey,
Getting the message
email, you
across
post this,
emails.
email, and it
Email.
worked.
So is that like construction for like downtown and stuff, right?
Improving the downtown area, yeah. It's going to look really good. Hopefully, it becomes more like. Have you been, Williams on a busy day?
Yeah.
And whole downtown areas just mopping and stuff like that. Hopefully, that happens here.
Okay.
It'll bring more business.
I
Yeah,
hope
like
so. I mean, I love First Friday down here.
My
so I hope
family
that it-
was out here just like a few weeks ago, and like they like the downtown area. Like,
Yeah,
we all went downtown and hung out. And,
I've lived here for 20 years, and I lived downtown. And for those 20 years, I've always been like, humans sitting on a gold mine that they don't even know they have if they would just clean up downtown. I've been waiting for this forever.
It would be so simple. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny because when we were looking to move here a couple years ago, what we fell in love with was downtown.
Yeah.
But we just thought we were here on off days. We just, in our heads, were like, oh, I'm sure that, like, this is all, like, more... And so we were a little shocked that it wasn't. But we still love it. So I would
Right.
love to see it more attention paid to it so
Right.
that people will come and hang out and...
Yeah, old buildings are cool.
Mhm.
Yes.
Too.
Well, and it's
Yeah.
interesting because in Arizona they tear down history. I think
I
Arizona is
know.
one of the few places I have ever lived that tears down history. Just like it's nothing. Just like, oh, that building's been here for 100 years. We'll tear it down and put up something. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but you could retrofit, you could build around it. There's a lot of things you can
They
do.
don't appreciate it. Like when I went to New York, I was fascinated. I went on the subway because that was one of the things I wanted to do, and I'm like, I just appreciated all the hard work that went into everything. I'm like, they literally tiled the entire sub. I'm like,
Yes.
work hours that went in to do
Yes.
that. Like, why would you tear stuff like that down? Any of the old buildings, it's like there's so much work that goes.
It's
into
definitely an Arizona thing though.
Yeah.
Because I lived in
Yeah.
Salt Lake City, I've lived in Los Angeles, I've lived in New York City. My husband's from Chicago, grew up in Chicago a little bit, and like everywhere else, there's some attempt to maintain those things that hold historical value. And here, Arizona, from Route 66 down in Phoenix, down in Tucson, they're just like, eh. And I'm like, and Salt Lake City goes to the extreme. I will give them credit. New York does it because the buildings are there, and it's not exactly easy to always just, I mean, unless it's the World Trade, it's not easy to implode. Just slip that right on in. Just slip that in.
Dion's got jokes.
But for the most part, like there's a lot of attention. Salt Lake City is probably the biggest town that does the biggest shop local program I've ever seen sponsored by the city. They are very big on supporting your local businesses and keeping the chain stores on the outskirts of town. Like out of the way so
Right.
that the local business that's in town gets the business. But if you want to build on property that's near any of their buildings, they're like, okay, well, we need to see the outside facade of your building and what it's going to look like because it has to stay in line. So even if it's brand new, you can't throw up some all glass, super modern, whatever in the middle of their town that doesn't pay homage. Now, don't get me wrong, Salt Lake has its issues.
Oh, yeah.
They have an underbelly.
Yeah.
They have an undercurrent that is insane, a kind of dark undercurrent. Probably that was the first. I went to Long Beach Pride first, and then Salt Lake City, and they were pretty close. But it's kind of interesting that the Pride is so big in Salt Lake, considering they put them in a park and completely cover all of the fences that outline the park. They cover them like with tarps. You can't see into Pride, but it's huge.
They don't want any of the Mormons getting any ideas.
You would not know how many
So they
secret
gotta,
Mormons there are, and you know that like.
Cover it up.
A lot of those towns right around there, and I can't think of the name of it, where BYU is, has like the highest concentration of child molesters and pedophiles
Yeah.
registered
I've heard that.
per capita everywhere, anywhere. And it's like,
What was that clergy rule for? The LDS church?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was. So it's crazy to me that I'm like, so y'all got this whole dark underbelly, huge tattoo scene, huge LGBTQIA, the whole nine, community that we keep completely like it's hidden. It's so weird to me.
That is
Maybe not to everybody else, but to me, I'm like,
No, that's
do y'all not see? Because like I can see these people that are standing like right here. they're right here, and they're like, oh no, we don't have that here, and I'm like, no, really, right there. It's a whole person. It's okay.
So I was born and raised in the Bay Area, so like Pride was always like a huge thing out there, San Francisco Bay Area. So like coming here and then finding out that they're having one here, like I was just kind of like, excuse me, like in Kingman they have one.
But I'm excited. I'm happy to see it.
Yeah,
it's cool though.
it's cool to see, and then to see like how it's grown, because like I know when like Ronnie like first started like doing it, like it was small, kind of like how our Juneteenth thing was, like just like at the park kind of thing, and then like it changed into all this, like, and I've watched it grow, and it's been really cool. Like,
Yeah, because I think like at first, if people don't know about it, because I think most people would be like, that I would want to go check that out, at least see what it's about, you know. But I think a lot of times they maybe don't know about it.
I think they don't know, and all that they have to
Or they
compare it
don't
to,
understand it.
they compare
Yeah.
it
They
to
don't
like,
understand.
I mean, San Francisco Pride, Long Beach Pride, that's a party. That
Yeah.
Phoenix Pride, it's a party. But in fairness, it's all usually pretty family friendly during the day. Like during the
Right.
day and at this kind of stuff, it's usually pretty innocuous. I mean, it's a festival.
I
You come
I
here.
would bring my kids to Pride any day.
Well, I took my kids everywhere,
I
but
have 4 of them.
I
would take
didn't-
them any day.
well,
I don't understand the fear behind it. I really don't.
I think we don't understand it because it's not logical. I mean, I know for me at Kingman, coming to Pride is also just about a more accepting community. So being a brown person in this community, it's really important to me that I can come to something like this. I feel less looked at. I walk into places and they're like, you know, I'm buying hay and feed, and they're like, you have horses? Like, it's utterly a shock.
Yeah,
It's like an utter
horses,
shock.
too.
like, you have a horse? And I'm like, I have 3. You have 3 horses? I'm like, yeah. And I raise cattle. They're like, what?
yeah.
I'm like, so it's just, I guess I feel a little less.
The folks here, I think that they might just not understand. I don't know why they don't understand that though. But
Cars have only been around since the 1900s. How do they think everyone got around?
yeah,
I mean,
I
what do
know.
they think? Like, we just don't know how to. They thought we just never got on one. No, who do you think took care of them?
well,
I mean, who do you think took care of
feeding
them?
them and taking and
And
grooming
them and breaking them and training them. If it wasn't the indigenous population, guess who it probably was?
and then there's still kind of
Right.
like that mindset where like people think like Barstow is like the California like experience, like when they say like I've been to California,
Oh.
and it's like we're not talking about like
There-
noodles and
Oh.
Barstow.
I've been to
Like,
There's way better
Yeah.
places in California.
like you even got to go like past like
You gotta
Bakersfield,
You gotta
like
go.
Like, not even that. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking like, have you had the experience, the California experience?
You even have to go past Big Bear, California.
Yeah,
to get
like
that
have you
experience.
been to any of the cities out there? Like,
Well, and seeing that it's just not a thing. I mean, when we lived in Salt Lake, I think the biggest thing we did was we went to Denver for a week. I had to go for work. And we realized in Denver, my husband's not here today, but he's kind of a big dude, white, blue eyes, bald head, kind of stands out in the crowd.
Yeah.
And we realized in Denver that no one looked at us. No one, we were an anomaly in Salt Lake, to the point that one of the first days I had a consulting contract there, my boss said, when I put pictures up in my office, said, I didn't know your husband was white. I was like, I didn't know that was
An issue.
I didn't know I needed to announce it.
yeah.
Like, I didn't know that was, I didn't know.
Orientation?
Yeah, I didn't know. Was that important? I didn't know your wife was white either. And he was like, well, I said, I didn't know she was white. I had no idea. It never occurred to me. And he was like, oh, so we went to Denver, and we came back and we were out of Salt Lake City in 30 days. We packed up and moved in 30 days. I was like, I can't do this. I can't live someplace where
Well, and a lot of the folks here,
things
though,
are
are
that
like
way.
that too, because when I worked at the hospital, my manager, she was black. She ran the entire show, and these people come up and they're like, oh, you're really pretty for a black girl. And I just looked at her and I bit my tongue because I was going to say, how about you're just really pretty?
Right.
People do that, or they're amazed that there's a black woman who's a manager. I ran into that situation as well. So I'm just like, who cares that her skin is black? She's just pretty. You know, you're just really pretty. You know, just make it. It's so condescending when they say you're pretty for a black girl. Oh, so if I was somebody else, I'm black, so you're thinking that it's a shock.
Well,
to
it's
you
like an
that I'm pretty?
anomaly. It's like,
You know,
wow, you're
like,
black
why?
and you're pretty. Like, wow, that's possible.
Yeah,
it's like,
so
yes.
strange. So
Yes.
strange.
Yes.
Literally, that was literally the conversation. And I know, because I've had people go like, oh, you're pretty for a big girl. And I'm all, why don't you just say I'm pretty? Why?
It garners the same internal response. I will say that
So
here,
weird. So bizarre.
the biggest thing I get here is people commenting and talking about what young people should and shouldn't do, or you young people is a common statement that I get. And I'm always like, I'm older than you. Like, I'm 50. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, really?
It's like, what do you consider young?
Yeah, well, because what they're saying is like they're looking at me and they've decided, ooh, that's a big bug.
It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't sting you.
Those are like the wood beetles, right?
They're wood bees.
Yeah,
They don't.
Well, I still don't want it like flying
like-
around me.
They're still freaky.
They're still freaky and they're big.
It's okay.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I just always think it's funny because I'm always like, okay, you know, and I'm like, don't always color your perception by your experience. I understand that I don't look as old as you. I understand that I don't look as old.
better. Okay.
Hey,
There's that.
It's the melanin.
It's the melanin. I can't.
So like when I came in and the guy goes like, do you plan on drinking? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a couple of beers. She's like, can I see your ID? And like he's just like staring at it like, and then the lady walks up, she goes, 84. She was like, he's been good. Like
You should. Haven't you ever heard of like black don't crack?
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
Haven't you heard that phrase?
It's literally, it's the melanin. It's, you know,
It literally is scientific.
yeah,
but
the sun doesn't.
we can joke about it, but I mean, we should look at people in Africa and realize that
The sun doesn't age
our
them.
sun is actually, our skin is actually made for the climate and for the temperature, and like we're okay. We're okay. You're running around worrying about turning pink and doing all kinds of stuff, and we're just living.
Go get your sun.
Yeah, we're just living. I still wear sunscreen, but we're just living. We're just living while you guys are worried. But no, it's been an experience living in Kingman. I tell people that although it hasn't been the best experience, I've met some really great people too. So I've just decided I own property, so I guess I'm not going anywhere. But the truth is, I'll be here while it changes.
Yeah.
I'll be here while it changes.
You know, and like the one thing was a few months ago, the people that were broken down and they were playing music in front of Smith.
Yes.
Right?
Great kids, by the way. Did anybody ever talk to them? They were amazing.
I never did.
I talked to them. I got out of my car. First of all, the first time we went, my daughter was with me. I get there, and they're like, hi, ma'am. They were the most respectful, kind, genuine kids I had ever, like I was like, I want to take you home. Like you would fit right in with my kids. They were just polite and respectful. I didn't appreciate that people saying they're banging. I'm like, they never came near my car.
They never came near anybody's
They never came near anybody's car. And let's face it, in this town, if they were doing something, if Smiths didn't want them there, if Kingman police thought they were doing something that was dangerous, they wouldn't have been there, and they would not have been there for weeks.
Did one of them get assaulted?
One of them
did get
yes.
assaulted, yes.
But nonetheless, their name is Voices of Prophecy. They are all over. They've traveled all over the country. They're really good kids. And
Which, by the way,
if I see them again, I would.
I spoke with them about that, about them being attacked, and they didn't even want to press charges.
Yeah.
They didn't even want to press charges.
No. I mean, it's it's accepting of the history. The challenge, I think, anytime you have conversations about racism, history, inequality, whatever, I think folks struggle with acknowledging the history. And I feel like as we talk about, oh my God, I don't want you making my kids feel guilty because they might learn something about CRT. First of all, CRT is only taught in college, people. Number one. Number two, it's not going to hurt them. My child has to live it. Your child can learn about it. It's just the reality. And ultimately accepting, with all the 12-step programs and all the rehab stuff I see going on in Kingman, I find it hard to believe that people don't believe that you have to accept something before you can change it.
It's to be taught so it isn't repeated.
Exactly.
Like that is the point of teaching.
That's the entire point. And critical race theory really deals with theories around how the legal system is set up. It has nothing to do with teaching about slavery. So that CRT is actually usually taught at the collegiate level and in law school, and it is about how laws are still, that were set with a certain intent, and they're still impacting society. That is critical race theory. Theory is a big word. It is not necessarily, it's just not dangerous. And I don't know. Sydney's kids, her daughter would probably ditch her for me if she could. She I walk in the door, she's in my lap, she does not leave my side. She is cuddled up on me, and I don't think she has ever once thought I want to be nice to her because she's black or that she feels she's 6.
She's 6 now.
She's 6.
Yeah.
She could not possibly understand any of it. She just knows that that's the nice lady that will hug me and feed me cupcakes. I think that's what she, I want to hang out with her.
All this hate, it's just taught.
It's taught.
It's taught. You know, kids don't realize that.
They don't care.
I had a lady, I posted the trailer for the new Little Mermaid movie and said, my daughters are so excited about this movie. And this lady comes on and says, well, my 8-year-old or 9-year-old is a little weird about it not looking like the White Mermaid. And I was like, she's like, she has a right to make up her own mind. And I'm sitting there thinking, a child molds to their environment. The adults need to look at it, because my daughters, they watched that, and Ariel, she's named after Ariel, she cried and said she's so beautiful. Didn't say anything about her not looking like the cartoon character, just said she was beautiful. The fact that there's a 9-year-old that has been taught that there's something wrong with that is disgusting. And I told the lady she needs to evaluate how she feels about black people and then teach her child. If I had a child that came up to me and said that, you know what I would say? That's okay. Both mermaids are beautiful. Both mermaids fit in the part.
Yeah, you know what?
Love both of them.
You know how stupid it gets is I went to go see New Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Fantastic movie.
Right.
Awesome. And they have a dog, Cosmo, who communicates telepathically.
Right.
Well, it's a female voice. Well, in the cartoon,
It's a
comic
man.
books, it's a man.
Yeah.
I never knew this. I thought it's a really funny character.
Right.
But people were complaining that they changed it from a man to a female dog.
I don't know.
But James Gunn, who directed the movie, changed it to a female dog because in real life, the dog that they sent the Russians out to space was a female dog. So that's why he changed the character.
Yeah, and it's so bizarre to me because I grew up with the Little Mermaid, the original little red-headed white mermaid, right? I didn't even care. I just was so excited that the Little Mermaid was coming. I didn't even care.
I was excited about live action, and to be honest
Live
with
action,
you,
yeah.
the first video I saw, I heard her sing, and then I just posted the video of her singing it live, and I just thought to myself,
incredible.
so she's the mermaid. I mean, she literally, like, if you pictured a mermaid and thought, like, that's what they would sound like, that's what she sounded like. And I was like, oh, okay, look, it's a mermaid. First of all, I would struggle if they named, we talked about this on that exact same post, if it was a historical character whose race or gender they tried to change, it would be different. If you tried to make Pocahontas Asian, I would be like, what is wrong with you?
Oh, yeah, or like
that is
Mulan,
weird. That is weird.
If you tried to change,
but it's a mermaid.
Mulan,
it's a freaking mermaid. I'm like, what color are mermaids? What exactly do mermaids look like? I'm thinking they're going to be kind of gray and green, to be honest with you, because they live underwater, like fish.
Not really
like,
have a skin color, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just really bizarre to me that they made such an. They recently made an issue about Tinkerbell being black.
Also, someone who looks like Tinkerbell, just embodies that whole.
Acts like Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
These are fictional characters.
But they're not even real. We're talking about mermaids and fairies.
Mermaids.
And
do
fairies.
They think that mermaids are actually real? Do they think they exist?
Apparently.
Only way that
And they all have ivory white skin and red hair.
And then the
None-
lore-
None of them have dreads either. They live underwater.
Even the lore.
I
every
guess
day.
we gotta blame Daryl Hannah for all this.
There you go.
What the
There
hell?
you go.
Even though, but like even the lore of mermaids is like Mediterranean. So like
Which means
all
they could
those
be very
countries
brown.
that touch
Well,
the
look at what-
Mediterranean
wait a
all have
second.
that lore.
Look at what they do with Jesus. There's no way in hell, if Jesus really existed, there's no way in hell that he would be.
He is the only white man
Look
in the
like
Middle East.
white Jesus. If there's
would be
American.
How did he
white guy in the
hide?
Middle
How would
East.
he have
No
hid
way.
amongst the people? Like
How would he have
He would have
lived?
been so
No, seriously,
sunburned.
how
They
would he
didn't
have
have sunblock
genetically
then.
survived
Now, Snow.
with pale skin and
Snow.
blonde
They
hair?
wouldn't have.
That
And
is why they're
walking across
protesting
the
us
desert.
the street by what you just said.
What? Oh, because
We
Jesus
still
is
need
white?
to go over there and talk to them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just totally like, I mean, I
Go
feel bad
where?
for people that have that limit of a view.
Religious
And I
people
also
across the
recognize
street.
my own
Oh,
shit
is that
sometimes.
them? Oh,
My nephew
okay. I
is
didn't
trans,
even,
and
but
took me
I
the
moved
longest
with
time
one.
I
not
didn't
to
even know what
accept
they were,
the trans,
but
but to refer
that's
to
I
him
just
as
saw
him.
like people over there. but-
That was just my own. I had 18 years of not saying him, so it took me a while to transition to that. But my nephew's still my nephew. Does that make any sense? Like, I mean,
No,
that
it
took
does.
me years,
Yeah.
and
It
so I'm
does.
still working on myself. So the idea that I can accept it doesn't mean that I think you have to accept it and that you can't have time to
It does make sense though.
process
'cause
it and get comfortable with it.
It's normal to do that with things that you just learned. It's like some people take a little more time. It doesn't mean that. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, and I think that
And it's hard
we
to
should
break
give people
stuff
a
that
break.
you've been conditioned into.
Right. We
So
should give people a break.
You have to be able to listen to where their environment was and understand, and then explain yours, and then you can start to kind of take that conditioning out of the realm.
Yeah, I have a family member that's transitioning, and I've known them the whole life, and I still let it slip out him, and I was like, but then.
But that's awareness. That's
Yeah.
you and me going,
yeah,
I screwed that up.
Yeah.
And I think that like
Dope moments.
my nephew is like, it doesn't bother him because he knows that it's not, I'm not trying to take him back. I'm just like, this is what it's always been. You know, it's always been
It's a
him and
habit.
his sister. It's
It's
just
a
a habit.
Yeah, you
It's not
have to
even
break that
I'm like, I don't even care. Like, I don't even care. Like, I just want to make sure you can get the meds you need and do what you got to do. Like, I just want you to be safe.
Right.
That's all I care about. Like, are you safe? Are you happy? That's all I care about. You know, and he's here in Kingman. He's in Golden Valley, no less. And struggling. You know? I mean, you wouldn't know if you met him
He
today.
should have came today.
I'm going to try and drag him out tomorrow.
Yeah, that would probably be good if.
I think it would do him well to have community.
Right, yeah.
You know, make
To have
friends.
community.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I tried to get my family member to come to this. They're not feeling good today, but I think it's good for them to see the overwhelming support that is.
Well, that there is community. You can have
There is
community.
something, yeah, it's not
And
isolated.
it's okay.
Because you've got a handful of really loud bigoted people in this town that like they make extra profiles to make it look like they're really not a handful, and it can be overwhelming for some people. You know, like, oh my God, the community hates her. When reality is, we're larger than that handful of people. You know what I mean? They have to see that. You know.
Well, and I had a member of my family, the whole Bud Light thing, posted something like, I am never drinking Bud Light anymore. I'm going to switch to Coors Light. And the family members were like, underneath it, they were going, okay, well, here's what Coors Light did last year during Pride Month.
Yeah.
And then I went underneath that to, here's what Miller Lite did last year during Pride Month.
They want to sell beer to everyone.
And then I
God forbid everybody drinks beer.
It's
like,
hilarious, but the biggest
business of making money.
biggest anti-supporters, the biggest anti-people are the biggest ones that will also tell you about capitalism being good.
Right.
And I'm like,
And businesses should be able to do what they want. No regulation.
No regulation.
Yeah, but here's what happened. This really bothered me because of my family member. And I said, underneath that, I said, now, this person,
because it was direct towards trans people.
This person's sibling is transitioning. Do you really think it's now the one that's transitioning isn't on Facebook, but the older sibling is? And I said, do you think that's really smart to put this out there, because the younger sibling could potentially see this? Middle of the night, he took it down. And he sent me an apology text in the middle of the night. I wasn't thinking. I was like, yeah, that's a problem. You weren't thinking. You're just jumping on the conservative bandwagon.
Well, it's all for, like I was talking to Kat about, it's all about, so the thing about social media that makes it kind of toxic sometimes, especially in that kind of idea, is how many likes and you feel accepted with your hate. You know, like, oh my God, these people like me, so I'm accepted, but they're not focusing that that's hurtful and it's hateful, and that if it were towards them, they would be hurt. You know, they're just focused on the likes and the acceptance that they're getting from it.
It's like this desire for acceptance is like shifting the values in a way that they don't notice.
And it's sad because I actually watched this podcast. This girl said one of her most monumental times in her life was her science teacher took the seats and put it in a circle, and he put a table on the front with a goldfish on it, and he said, if any of you move out of this seat and save this goldfish, I'm giving you a failing grade. He took the goldfish out and set it on thing, walked out the room. And all these kids sat there like, I don't want to fail. This girl said, fuck this, got up and put the fish in, and then he came in and said, see, this is what society has done to you. Yeah.
Except
you
for
have,
the
you
girl.
lack moral views or moral, anything, because you don't want to be the one out. You want to be accepting, get A's, and be the best. When there was a life, that life was dying right in front of you. And we literally are doing that to the black community, to the gay community, transgender community, all the time. We just stand there and watch.
All these
Who's
oppressed
gonna be
classes.
Just any oppressed class.
Rather pull out
That's
phones
exactly
and
what it
record
teaches
it.
us.
Actually.
We my kids participated in a camp called Anytown when they were coming up, and it's sort of, I call it like diversity boot camp for kids. But they take these kids and they do all these exercises and they teach them all about how they're more like their peers than they're different. These kids start off, you drop them off at camp, and they are all like standoffish, like kids are, right? Because these are high school kids, so they're all like. You come back, when you come pick your kids up, these kids are bawling, they are crying, they are holding on to their friends. People that, they've made this whole expanded group. But what I learned after, when I became a counselor, the last day of the camp, they get up and then they section all the kids off by their race or sexual orientation, and they separate them. And they tell them, you can't talk to anyone else. You can only talk to the people in your group. And they say it has never lasted more than about an hour. Before the kids are like, what? Like, I've been, like, all week I've been talking to this person. What do you mean I can't talk to them? And then they just stop. They're like, slowly the kids are just like, we don't even live there. And the adults are like, you're not supposed to. And the kids are like, we're not hearing you. We're not hearing you. Like, we're not doing that. That sucks. We're not doing that. So I think that we just have to look at what we're doing and what we're seeing and know that kids are watching, even when we think they're not. They're watching. They're watching how we respond. They're watching how we treat people. They're watching. We can even say we're accepting and fly a flag, but our behavior will tell a different story, and our kids are watching that.
Yeah,
Nonverbals.
And,
Those nonverbals.
With my family member, I had that conversation because I worry about this area, and are you going to get picked on? Are you going to get bullied? You know, and they say no at school. No, everybody's accepting of it. So the good part about it is
The youth is going to be the one to change.
we don't really have to worry because the dinosaurs are going to die off.
And I literally tell people that
They're gonna
on
die.
Facebook when they're talking their trash. I'm like, I'm not too worried about you. You'll die in a few years. You're dying off anyways. I literally say that to them.
I think that it's the idea that we
I don't
want
even
to
care.
shun everything that is
Yeah.
quote unquote woke or liberal or whatever term they're more comfortable with today. And the truth is, I'm more fiscally conservative. When it comes to money, I'm probably more on the conservative side. But I still want to look at people. So I think that we have to break out of the us versus them mentality, because it's not us versus them. I can have one view, right? Proud Second Amendment supporter, can do all those things, and still say you can't talk to that person that way, or call them that, or treat them differently because, or say that they're going to hell because, as I buy my Free Mom Hugs t-shirt and I see all these moms walking around with Proud Mom, it occurs to me, how could you not be proud of your children? It never would occur to me. Mainly because I'm a parent and I really don't want to think about who my children are sleeping with, other than I hope they have good relationships. But the rest of that is way more information than I need as a mother.
Yeah, like
So I'm out.
On that political graph where you got the bullseye in the center,
Yeah.
and you go issue by issue, where do you lean on this? I fall just barely to the left
Right.
in the progressive part.
Right. That's where I'm at. I'm like right in the middle of, if you put one on this side and one on that side, I'm like, But I believe that we can take care of people. I believe we can't say that we're ever going to be great if we're not taking care of the people that are here. If we have citizens that are homeless, if we have citizens that are not getting proper medical care, by proper medical care, I'm going very broad stroke, proper medical care. If people are not getting it, then we will never be great. It's not about being great again. We're never going to be great until we get to the point where we realize we're responsible for
Because we definitely
people.
weren't before.
Huh?
Because we definitely weren't before.
No, we definitely weren't. When? Well, that's my question. When? When was it? When black people were in slavery or being against, when gay people were getting killed, even if they weren't out? When was it great?
Never. No.
When was
that
it
was
great?
serious. That was a serious thing.
like when was it great? You keep saying again, and I keep saying I'm struggling with again. Because I haven't seen it get there yet.
Right.
You know?
I mean, that was my immediate thought. Make America great again. I was just like, huh. I mean, I was like, that's kind of to me. I was like, that's kind of a racist statement right there.
Yeah, but I mean, America was built on the idea of pushing the little dog down to the big wigs can have power and money. It's always been that way. That's not great. It's never been great.
But that's just a load of bull they've fed white men. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of a
I
childish.
feel like they've told white men that the only way you can be great is if you oppress somebody else. So that's what they do.
Yeah, it's kind of a childish mindset.
Well, I think it boils down to, like you were talking about earlier, learned behaviors.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like they're
you
bad.
learn how to do that.
They're
stuff.
bad. Look at Florida right now. These farmers are like, they're like, these people won't come to work. I'm like, oh, but they're taking our job. So what job exactly are they taking? The one that you're not going to go do because you're not going out to pick strawberries by hand. You know how I know you're not doing it? Because I'm not doing it. I'm totally down with migrant workers. Let them pick those strawberries.
That's right.
Because I'm not, I mean, it's not like because I think they're less than.
I'm fucking tired.
It's not because I think that they're less than. Instead, I'm like, but I've never done it. I'm not built for it. I would die out there. And these people work 12 hours a day.
For pennies.
And they want
For
to do it.
freaking pennies.
Like
Yes. But it's a lot for them.
they're
So
willing to do it.
I feel like the true capitalist society should understand that we need everybody at every level. Somebody's got to do the work. There is no machine that can properly pick strawberries.
Nope.
There isn't one. they can shake an apple tree, but they can't pick a strawberry from the ground. They can't really pull the corn off the stalk. There's a lot of stuff. Has anyone ever seen a cotton bush? Like you can't
They got
just
thorns all over them.
yeah. I'm like you have to like have you like what are you asking
imagine
for?
them going out there with no gloves and picking that cotton? That's just horrifying.
It is horrifying.
It's horrifying.
You know, lots of folks think that it's normal and should be accepted. So, well,
should not
y'all,
be normal
it's been
labor.
great. We should do another talk again before
Yes.
Juneteenth.
Yes.
And then at Juneteenth, I hope you guys will be able to make it and hang out and talk with us and be there. We'll share, you know, history, understanding of what it is. It's not a woke holiday for those that are, you know, out there listening that are like, it's just a woke. It's not a woke
been
holiday.
hundreds
It's American
of years.
history.
It's American history, yeah.
It's American history. We can call it woke. Sorry, Siri's talking.
Like both sides were there
Yeah.
during this history.
It's history. If we just taught history, we wouldn't have to have woke
We're
history.
okay with celebrating
Right.
Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July. We should be okay
Most
with
Americans
celebrating.
can't tell the difference between Memorial Day and Labor
That's
Day. They
true.
don't know the difference. They think they're the same holiday.
That's true.
Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and Labor Day are all exactly the same for most Americans.
Yeah, just a reason to barbecue.
Yeah, day off
Their
working
day
the
off
barbecue.
work.
I'm like, so why are
And-
you mad that I want a day off working the
And
barbecue?
how much do you
I
want to
cook better
bet?
than you.
How much do you want to bet that they're all going to be drinking Bud Light on July 4th?
Oh yeah. I think that's Juneteenth we're gonna serve
She's
that.
my best friend. There's a reason.
There you go. There you go.
Dropping that good knowledge.
Yeah.
We will have you all on again
Yes.
within a couple weeks. We usually do Sunday nights at the normal place. Okay, so let's definitely do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
And we need to take a break because we need to change out these batteries.
Okay.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Y'all, thank
Okay.
you so
All
much
right,
for having
thank
us.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.